It started with the sighs. At first, Caroline Bishop thought it was just the old walls settling. That's what people always said, right? Houses make sounds, air in the pipes, mice. But mice didn't breathe like that. They didn't groan long and slow, like something remembering pain. Caroline lived alone in a duplex in Derry, Maine, a town where shadows hung longer in winter, and every face felt like it had a secret behind it. She had moved back after the divorce, tail between her legs, renting a place with vents that coughed and sighed at night like an asthmatic. She was a court stenographer by trade, one of those people who typed quietly but listened loudly, maybe too loudly. She recorded people's tragedies and lies for a living, took their broken words and made them permanent. The sighing came every night now, at 2:14 a.m. sharp. Not 2:13, not 2:15, always 2:14. At first, she tried to ignore it, turned up the fan, bought white noise machines, but no matter what she did, she could still hear it. The sigh, a sound like wind being pulled through damp cloth, and with the sighing came the feeling, that cold, worming certainty that someone was watching. Not from outside, from inside. It was late October when she decided not to take her Ambien. The wind outside had teeth, the kind that scraped against the house and howled for entrance. She curled up in bed with her worn quilt pulled to her chin and stared at the dark room. The moonlight fell across the ceiling fan, casting shadows like prison bars spinning slowly. The sigh came, 2:14 a.m. It was close now, closer than ever, like it was in the room. And then she saw it, the vent above her closet door, 4 small horizontal slats. There should have been only blackness behind them. But tonight, the second slat reflected light, moist, round. An eye. She froze, every muscle in her body clenched. Her breath came in tight, ragged puffs. For a second, she told herself it was a marble, a trick of the light, a hallucination brought on by sleep deprivation. But the eye blinked. And it didn't blink like a human eye. It blinked sideways, like a lizard. She screamed and ran to the bathroom, locked herself in, sat on the cold tile floor until dawn bled into the sky. She reported it the next morning, first to the police, then to the landlord. Officer Hicks was a thick-necked man who wore too many rings and chewed toothpicks like he was trying to make them disappear. He took notes with the kind of lazy detachment you reserve for someone who's wasting your time. "You'd be surprised what people imagine in their vents, Ms. Bishop," he said, tapping his pen against his clipboard. "Had a guy once call in, swore his neighbor was living in his walls. Turned out to be squirrels." The landlord was no help either. Mr. Kavanaugh, a leathery old man who wore crucifix cufflinks and had a voice like wet gravel, promised to look into it. She didn't believe him. A week later, an envelope appeared under her door, no return address. Inside, a yellowed maintenance report, filed October 1983, tenant complaint, man crawling through vents at night, breathing in bedroom, eyes through grate, status unresolved, tenant evicted due to mental instability. Below that, a second complaint, dated 1992, then 2001, 2008, 2016, always the same, always unresolved. She started to sleep with a flashlight under her pillow and a hammer beside her bed. She did what she knew best. She documented. Cameras glitched, audio recorders fizzed out, batteries drained by morning, but her stenography machine, her lifeline, never failed. She set it beside her bed and typed in the dark. She transcribed the night like it was a court proceeding. 2:14 clones. Sighing begins. Heavy, male, wet. 2:14:19. Scratching inside wall, north facing. 2:14:33. Whisper. Caroline. 2:14:39. Whisper closer. I know you're awake. She stopped sleeping altogether. Eyes sunken, skin pale, she typed into the void, chasing the thing with her fingers. The next night, it whispered more. 2:14:11. You don't need to scream, I already know the shape of your breath. 2:14:22. I was here before you. I watched her too, before they took her away. Who? She whispered into the dark. The sigh didn't answer. Eventually, she had to look. She bought a ladder from the hardware store and unscrewed the vent above her closet. The metal groaned in protest. Behind it was black insulation and wires like veins. She pulled them aside. Behind that, space. A narrow crawl space running the length of the house, just wide enough for a man to move through, if he dislocated a shoulder and didn't mind the pain. She saw something gleam in the dark, reached in with her phone flashlight. Teeth, human, root intact. 6 of them. She dropped the light and fell off the ladder, breaking her wrist. The pain barely registered. Her brain was too busy trying to scream. The police found nothing. Again, they sealed the vent, reassured her, told her to get some rest. She didn't believe them. She moved, left Derry, left Maine, rented a clean, modern apartment in Portland with no crawl spaces, no attic, no vents near the bedroom. 6 months passed. She started sleeping again, sometimes. But on the first snowy night of February, she woke up gasping, her throat dry, heart slamming like a judge's gavel. The digital clock blinked. 2:14 a.m. From the hallway vent, she heard it. Sighing, slow, familiar, home. She stared at it, and it was smiling now. Not a mouth, but a presence. A shape behind the slats that felt like a grin, and then it spoke. You type so beautifully, Caroline. I read every word.